of your health holding you back while I was. And then I found this radio show and I started talking to the right people, disseminating the right information, and I'll tell you what, I'm a million times better than I was. We're going to go to Nadru in California. Nadru, can you hear me?
And I have Fernando on the line. Go ahead, Fernando.
Hello?
Fernando.
Yes.
What's up, my friend?
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Trying to see if you can help me.
What's up?
Diabetic?
You diabetic?
Yes.
Type 1 or type 2?
2?
Type 2?
Yes.
It's your lucky day, Fernando.
That sounds like a plan to me.
How did you meet Nadru?
We go to the same church.
You go to the same church. So Nadru is going to church and bringing the message that your eyes were made to see and your blood sugar levels were made to work. Right? We got a bad connection here, Fernando. I'm having a little bit of a hard time hearing you. Now, this is great. What you guys need to do is watch Dr. Glidden's webinar on diabetes, on blood sugar. Have you ever watched that?
No, I haven't.
Well, I've watched it several times, and here's the deal. I'm going to tell you a little story, all right? Yeah, you're breaking up. Listen, my friend his mother had diabetes, and we got her on a healthy blood sugar pack and a few other things. And it was like no time at all after her following the 10 bad food list and taking her supplements regularly, she was off her medication. So I see no reason at all that won't work for you, Fernando.
Mm-hmm.
So now Nadru knows how to sign you up with Longevity, does she?
Yes.
All right, then I want you to listen to Nadru, and she's going to get the information if she doesn't already have it, and you're going to be a different guy in short order. How's that sound, Fernando?
That sounds fine to me.
All right, my friend, you take care. We're going to let you go. We're going to go to Normandy in Arizona. Normandy, like the Normandy invasion. Here it is. We're going to drop Normandy, and we're going to go to Michael in Indianapolis. Are you there, Michael?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, good to hear you, Michael. What's going on, my friend?
Hey, I've got a condition, been diagnosed with cone dystrophy, the visual problem, and I've been on Tangy Tangerine for about a week, and I was just wondering if there's some other products that would work well for my condition.
Well, right off the bat, Michael, you've just been using the Tangy Tangerine. Is that the 2.0 or the old version?
2.0.
Okay. Now, are you aware that there's the full Healthy Start pack with the OsteoFX and the EFA Plus?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, before anything else, just off the top of my head, I would encourage you to follow the 10 bad food list and get your 90 essential vitamins, minerals, and amino and fatty acids. Now, you've got cone dystrophy that's affecting your eyes. I'll tell you what happened with somebody that I know with their eyes. Girl had LASIK eye surgery, okay?
Okay. And
she had to go back for yearly checkups to make sure things were still working, to maintain. There's kind of sort of like a warranty that goes with laser eye surgery, okay?
Right.
And so she found out at one of her yearly checkups that her vision had downgraded in one of her eyes significantly, and they wanted to have her come back in for a checkup in 3 months. Well, when she found that out, she went on the Longevity website. She found a product called Vision FX. Okay, Vision FX. And she started taking that. Now, in 3 months on this Vision FX, she went back to the optometrist at LASIK eye surgery, and her vision had doubled in that eye. In fact, the vision in both of her eyes. The optometrist said, "You're seeing better than I am. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Whatever you're doing, just keep doing it."
Okay.
She didn't want to hear what it was she was doing, but she doubled her vision. Now, I knew another girl who had just crazy problems with her eyes. She was young, and they were filling with fluid and bulging out, and she went on just a little bit of selenium, and her eyeballs responded right away. So, I've seen it myself. Are you signed up through anybody with longevity? How'd you get that tangy tangerine?
Actually, I just called the corporation and bought some. And I've known of Dr. Wallach for a long time and just haven't taken his products.
All right, well, why don't you get lined up with having it coming? I'll tell you what, you can get this Healthy Start Pack and some selenium and some Vision FX and some different products that maintain and promote the healthy structure and function of your eyes, and you will be amazed, my friend. What you can do is call our 1-800 number, and we'll have somebody hook you up with the full line. Now, here's the beauty of the deal. There's a way you can do it so that you don't have to pay shipping. Okay, I haven't paid shipping on any of my longevity products in a long, long time. I've saved hundreds and hundreds of dollars and, improved my health and my life overall. Like, really, it saved my life. And I actually, I haven't paid for it in a long time, and I'm making money now doing it. Does that sound like something that interests you, Mike?
Well, actually, I don't know if I would want to work the business or not, but I like the idea of the free shipping.
Okay, well then I'll give you the phone number. You call it, they'll hook you up, we'll get you an auto ship, and you won't have to pay shipping. How does that sound? You got a pen?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, it's 1-800-705-6892. That's 1-800-705-6892, and you'll get a member of Team Glidden.ca, and they will help you get going with your free shipping auto ship. And so you've been listening to Wallach for a long time, so that means you're fully aware of the 10 bad food list.
No, actually, this is the first I've heard of that, but I am aware of the gluten problem, and so I've been trying to wean myself off of it.
Well, that's an excellent first step. But there's a few more things you need to know about. Oil in a bottle, fried food, margarine. Ask when you call that number, give them your email address and have them send you the 10 bad food list, or you can go to fireyourmdnow.com and register with Dr. Glidden, and he will send you a copy of the 10 bad food list. Now, we started seeing the bulk of the results off of what we're doing after we'd been following that 10 bad food list and taking everything in accordance with the proper diagnosis that Dr. Wallach recommends. So I see no reason that it wouldn't happen for you. So if you can do that and keep in touch with us, we'd really like to hear about your progress. I like to hear these stories of how people recover their health.
Okay.
It's amazing to me. Do you have anybody in your family or around you that is suffering from different things? Like, have you been talking to people about this?
Well, actually, my wife suffers from migraines, and she has all of her life. So I don't know if we've taken nutritional products from other companies. We buy certified organic nutritional products, and we take, a considerable amount, but nothing that is liquid colloidal or anything. But she does. Go ahead.
You sound a lot like how I used to be. Like me and my wife were looking for, just to improve our health, right? So we were going to the health food store and buying all kinds of this and that. But quite honestly, I'll tell you, after years of doing that, the bang for your buck is in longevity, and that's just all there is to it. In our experience, and I know so, because let's face it, there's kind of this revolution in people's thinking going on where they're leaning towards supplements, and there's all these studies saying that they don't work, and it's really out in the public eye right now. There's kind of like a national debate going on. But I'll tell you right now, from just being a person that was researching things on the internet and trying a whole, anything I heard, it was like coconut oil, cider vinegar, all these different things that everybody thought was just great for you. We'd try it out. And I won't say that we didn't get some good results out of it, because we did, but it didn't really take off until I got on track with longevity. And that's, I watched people lose weight. I saw them, the results were amazing. So if I can encourage you to try it out for 90 days going full bore with your full healthy start pack and the other things we're going to recommend to you on that 1-800 line, we would love to hear back from you, Mike, and see how it went.
Okay. I sure appreciate it.
You take care, Mike. We're going to let you go. Now, remember I was talking about ridiculous things in medical science, so-called? I pulled up this article on FoxNewsHealth.com. Comedians are likely to have psychotic personality traits. Hey, comedians. So, if somebody makes you laugh, you better run or you're going to find yourself chained up in a basement. Having an unusual personality structure could be the secret to making other people laugh, scientists said on Thursday. Yeah, that's a bunch of guys in white coats and clipboards studying a joke, trying to analyze. People with no sense of humor whatsoever trying to analyze what makes people laugh. It's pretty funny. So anybody, if you heard that number I gave Mike, that last caller, you can call that. I'm going to give it up again on the other side here. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. We'll be back after this. Welcome back. We're live. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. And before the break, we had Mike from Indianapolis calling about his eyes. Now, if you're not a Dr. Glidden insider, I strongly suggest you become one, because what's going to happen is you're going to get a wealth of information, things that you never thought were possible, things you were told were the complete opposite of what they were. And the information is power. Knowledge is power. I mean, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Let's put it that way. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I just know how to disseminate the right information, and I look for results. And when I get them, I know it. I watch people around me. I watch women lose weight, get more color in their face, color in their hair, get more beautiful all the time. And I know I found my thing because, well, I'm a guy. Dr. Wallach coming to Central Alberta March 27th, 28th, and 29th. That'll be Edmonton, Sherwood Park, and Camrose. We're nailing down details on exactly how that's going to go down. But if you stay tuned to teamglidden.ca. Teamglidden.ca will be posting the details as they emerge. Or if you have any health concerns for you, yourself, a loved one, a random stranger that you want to help out, you can call a member of teamglidden.ca at 1-800-705-6892. Now, if you want to become an insider and watch all these webinars, just go to fireyourmdnow.com, fireyourmdnow.com, or drpeterglidden.com. You can sign up to become an insider. It costs you $20 a month, and you'll be able to help just about anybody you know around you with just about anything that there is. I'm convinced that this is the way to go with just about everything. I mean, I've seen so many crazy, what could almost be described as miraculous recoveries from chronic conditions that people thought they could not get over. They were convinced in their mind, but, for some odd reason, they were able to take in the right information, and now they're doing great. Take, for instance, myself, my wife, my kids, people around me, my friends. It's a noticeable improvement in your quality of life. I can't say enough about it. I encourage anybody to try it out. TeamGlidden.ca, 1-800-705-6892. 855-829-6892. Now, before the break, I was saying comedians are likely to have psychotic personality traits. And the reason I'm bringing this up, it's a story on Fox News, is that psychiatrists or the whole psych industry seems to want to diagnose every single situation in a person's life as a mental disorder. If you're too happy, if you're too sad, if you like girls, if you like guys, if you don't care, if you care too much, if you like to walk, if you don't like to walk, if you like to run, if you like to sit, everything's a mental disorder, and they want to get you on all kinds of drugs that are going to mess you up. Having an unusual personality structure could be the secret to making people laugh, scientists said on Thursday after research showed that comedians have high levels of psychotic personality traits. Psychotic. Think about that word, psychotic. What do you associate with that? Like the clown with a meat cleaver? Blood dripping off? Yeah. Psychotic. But they like to play on words, and they like to convince you that they know what they're talking about. And most important of all that, they like to convince you that you don't have power. Earlier I was talking about 4 words that have a lot of power, and that's I do not consent. I'll give you an example. One day my son came home with a permission slip for me to sign. Can we vaccinate your son? Now, I'm not going to get too deep into vaccinations. I don't know too much about it, but I don't believe that they have our best interest in heart. Like, the CDC has been found to not legally be responsible to tell you the truth about anything. So why would you trust them? I mean, they haven't put out any information on how to fix common everyday things like type 2 diabetes that are easy to get rid of on your own. Why don't they talk about that? No, you got to get a vaccination. So my son comes home with this permission slip to get a vaccination from the school, and I wrote on the back, I do not consent to you vaccinating my son. Okay? He goes back to school, gives it to his teacher. The next day, I get a phone call. Hello, this is your son's teacher, and we understand you have some concerns about vaccinations. I said, yeah, what's in it? And she said, I don't know. Because she didn't know. They don't even know what they're pumping kids full of stuff that they have no idea what it is. And I got to sign it for them. I'm going to continue this story on the other side. We'll be back after this. We're back live on the Fire Your MD Now radio show. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. It's a big honor to be doing this show. I've been a GCN listener for a long time, and I really enjoy their programming. I was long time ago, and this gives you an idea of how things happen. I believe that you have a path in life, that there's a plan for you. I don't think that we just randomly spin out of control, and I believe that there's a plan for everybody. Now, long time ago, I was just skipping around listening to different information. I found the Alex Jones show, and I started listening to him, on not too regular basis, but it wasn't so much about him. It was about the guests that he had on, which was the most intriguing to me. And through a process, I eventually found this radio show. And that was a long time ago. Now, years before that, when I was a lot younger, I went to broadcasting school. I took radio, and I learned how to write news stories. I learned how to do production and write commercials. And, that we're talking about a long time ago here. And just through courses of events and looking for information, looking for the right information of how things work and how the world works around me, I ended up in this position where I'm actually hosting a show on GCN. So big ups to the GCN radio network. Call in line is 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. Now, if you're a little shy and you don't want to be talking on the radio to a bunch of people, you can call a member of teamglidden.ca. Now, go get yourself a pen. I'll give you a little bit of time. Time's up. Here's the phone number. 1-800-705-6892. That's 1-800-705-6892. Now, you call that number, and you'll be able to walk through just about any kind of problem you're having. with a member of teamglidden.ca, and these are people that really care and want to make a difference in this world. We got a saying here at Longevity, and that's mission before commission. What you did for the least of these, you did for me. That's our philosophy. We know that there's a better way. Can you imagine? I mean, look at the money that your municipal government spends on putting chemicals and fluoride and whatnot in your water. Can you imagine if they spent that money to put plant-derived minerals in your municipal water supply? And do you know how many health problems would be averted in the general public just overall if you can convince somebody to go along with a plan like that? What about your church? You know, you go to church and a lot of people are struggling. There's a lot of places doing good. You go to your church and you talk to your pastor about getting the church signed up with Longevity, and then everybody in it signs up under the church. The church would make money. You could take that and you could buy supplements and food and give it to the poor. You could help people get off the street. You could help people get off of drugs. You could help people beat a cocaine addiction. Okay? Like, the plant-derived minerals are absolutely essential. In Dr. Wallach's research, any kind of craving that there is, be it drugs, be it alcohol, be it sex, whatever, you can put it down by giving yourself minerals. And that, to me, is amazing. So, instead of just warming a padded pew somewhere, why don't you actually take steps to change your community? That's what I'm doing. I talk to everybody I run into about this because, well, frankly, how could you not be fascinated by it? I mean, think about it. You're born into this world, okay? And this goes back to that I don't consent thing I was talking about earlier. You're told that you need to sign a contract in order to work in North America and get assigned a number. But what you're not told is that there's a whole lot of conditions, namely we can take your property, we can throw you in jail, we can cause severe economic hardship on your life if you don't play ball. So you sign the papers, and that's a legally binding contract, but is it? I mean, can I go and write a contract with a 4-year-old and tell him, look, if you sign this, this means I got to give you candy? And then after he signs it, but down here it says that if you ever own a house, that I have power over it, or that you can never own property, or that I can raid your bank account at any time. I don't know what you think about the Bible. I grew up reading it myself and studying it. I was taught that you should read your Bible, and if you go back to the book of Genesis, one of the first accounts of a human interaction is one of a deal gone bad, where somebody was promised, if you do this, I'll make you like a god. You'll have hair like Cindy Crawford. You'll be smarter than everybody. It was a promise based on a failed model, and that's what we have today. You got the promise. Well, it works because I watched House, right? We're bombarded with propaganda over a useless, failed medical model that is killing people around you. Well, you know what? That's not good enough for me and my family. I do not consent. That's not good enough for my friends and their kids. It's just not good enough. I'd like to send a shout out to Joey out in his hot oil unit, and Cindy Asmundson, the dynamic longevity distributor extraordinaire. It's like every morning I get up and check my business center and there's a new sign up. Well, 6, maybe I was exaggerating a little bit. If you want to call in, the number is 866-582-9933. Now, there are several advantages becoming a Dr. Glidden insider. Like I said, you get access to a pile of webinars. I mean, like, you can find information on how to get rid of atrial defibrillation, right? How to support and promote the healthy structure and function of your body to fight off just about everything, like just about anything. There are times when you're going to need an MD. Okay, if you get hit by a car, shot, stabbed, fall off a cliff, whatever, they're good at trauma. And there have been a couple times when I've needed them in those situations, so credit where it's due. But the fact is, I found myself in a situation all my life where I was going back to them for things that just wouldn't go away. Well, those things went away when I got my act together and started following the 10 bad food list and taking the right supplements. Now, we're in a world that we're bombarded with supplements and constant information that vitamins don't work. I was reading an article earlier. There's more disappointing news about multivitamins. 2 major studies found popping the pills don't protect aging men's brains or help heart attack survivors. Well, you know what? We've tried it your way. We've gone your way for a long time, but you know what? It doesn't work. None of it works. And they're not even legally obligated to tell you that it doesn't work, or to tell you the truth for that matter. Like I said earlier, I got all these letters from the school about not wanting my kids vaccinated, but I stood my ground. I said, I don't consent. It's not happening. Because they couldn't even tell me what was in that vaccine. Now, I'm not inherently opposed to the idea of vaccinations or the science behind it. I mean, you take a veterinarian, and as soon as a calf's born, they give it massive amounts of selenium, B12, all these different things. They know, well, that's a vaccination of sorts, right? It's an injection of something that their body needs to keep them healthy because the farmer wants them to grow up and not be sick because they want to make the money off that meat. So why don't we do the same things with ourselves? Why don't we give ourselves what we need, get the right information, become an insider? Go at fireyourmdnow.com, $20 a month, and just about anybody that I've lost people in my life because we didn't have the right information, because they relied on the MDs. There's been many people died that did not have to be. There's been many people that were, butchered in unnecessary surgeries. That's another thing about bringing Dr. Glidden up to your hometown to speak. He'll get up there and tell you all kinds of stories of medical fumbling and bumbling that has ended up killing people. And then there will be somebody there in attendance listening to the program or the presentation that had the wrong kidney removed. I mean, how basic is that? They figure they can go inside your body and tinker with your vital organs, but they can't get right and left right. You know what I'm saying? So it's a real crapshoot. And if they manage to pull the procedure off correctly, you're still at risk from infections and all kinds of other things. I watched Dr. Glidden's his webinar on colon health. It's like a nightmare. It's like a modern day house of horrors. Like a literal modern day technological torture chamber is the only thing I can really compare it to. I mean, why do we fall for it? Why do people think that's the way to go? Society could go in a million different ways. It doesn't have to be a two-party system. It doesn't have to be that these are your choices, Coke, Pepsi, white, black. You got to get out and find something else if it's not working. And like I said earlier, God gave you a brain. Use it. Look around you. Look where the results are. Find out who's getting what. Who's getting better. Who's getting sicker. It's really that simple. I was saying to Mike earlier, I've seen several people get their eye health back. I've seen people have their vision double in under 3 months. Not a joke. Totally serious. It's just amazing. And Drew had her friend Fernando call in. I'm telling you, Fernando, you listen to Madrew, and you're going to be on the right track in short order. Now, give it some time. Like I said, it takes some time for people to recover from different things. But you got to give it that time. Your body was made to work. You can strengthen it, and you can overcome just about anything. Do not consent to medical torture. Don't consent to having your bank account drained for a procedure that's failed 1,000 times. Why would you do that? It doesn't even make sense. And if you're a business-minded person, well, we got that covered too. You know, because there's a business opportunity with longevity that I've actually managed to make money off of. I'm going to give the call-in line number again here. It's 866-582-9933. That's 866-582-9933. Call me up. Let's talk about, whatever you want. It doesn't matter. We don't even have to talk about medical stuff on here. I'm just a regular schmo like you, and if you see the world a certain way and you don't like it, call me up and let's talk. Amino acids. HGH Youth Complex. Absolutely amazing. I started taking those about 6 months to a year ago, and I sleep better than I ever have. I mean, it's just amazing. I take my OsteoFX before I go to bed, about 45 minutes or so, and the HGH Youth Complex, and I have the craziest dreams you've ever seen in your life. And, you know, it's one thing from going to not being able to sleep and being tired all the time to being functionally normally. You know, when you get it together with your health and your mind, sky's the limit, bar the door. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Fire Your Empty Now Radio Show. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peterson. Call in line 1-866-582-9933. We're going to try to squeeze in a call or two here. Let's go over to Joe. Are you here, Joe?
You betcha, I'm here. How's it going today, Mike?
It's going well, Joe. What's up with you?
I got questions about drug addiction. First of all, I was in an accident in 1999 where I broke my femur, and they had me on morphine for about a month and a half, and then literally came in. I was just starting to walk, and kicked me out of the hospital. And so while I waited on my crutches and my broken leg for my parents to come pick me up, I got thinking or whatever, and they just cut me off my morphine and kicked me out of the hospital, and what am I going to do? So, of course, I got addicted to other drugs. As it went on, I was functioning. I mean, I'd never not paid bills or anything like that. And then as time goes on, you know, after a while, it's been 15 years, and I mean, I take all the longevity products. I feel great. Me and my wife smack hips every night, and everything's good that way. But the addiction thing is off and on. Sometimes I believe in Jesus, and I ask him, and everything I've asked him for, he gives me. But I think he's leaving it up to me for the addiction, because he won't help me there. Listen. Okay.
Listen, you want to talk about, listen, I'm glad you brought this up, because here's the deal. There's all kinds of help out there. Or let's put it this way, there's a lot of discussion out there about different things like heart disease or Parkinson's, but drug addiction is a big part of our society, and it's awful. It destroys lives. It takes money out of parents' pockets that they could be using for their children, and quite honestly, it funds crime, and there's a whole lot of murder that surrounds it. Now, there's a lot of people that believe it should be decriminalized, and a lot of these problems would stop. Now, according to our, the research that we get from Dr. Joel Wallach, what a person needs to do is hyper-nutritionalize, and that's specifically minerals. I myself have helped people get off of street drugs by steering them towards the plant-derived minerals. Okay, a craving is a physical sign of a mineral deficiency in our view. Now, what a person needs to do, and here's the beauty of it, it's cheap. A bottle of plant-derived minerals is $20. Okay, so whatever a person is spending a month on street drugs, if they were to spend, say, $200, like if you want to go to the high end of it, and get 10 bottles of plant-derived minerals and hit them hard, those cravings will go away. And there's a certain mental aspect that has to go with it too, like, because there's a lot of people out there that I don't think they really know what's wrong with them. I don't think they know that there is anything wrong with themselves. They just figure that they like to party once in a while. But they get in a trap, and they are, like you said, a functioning drug addict. Okay, but that doesn't make them any worse than somebody that got addicted to pills that some MD prescribed to them. You know what I mean? That addiction is addiction, whether it's to alcohol, whether it's to drugs, or whether it's to ice cream, doesn't matter. The key point of it is right there, if a person has craving, that is an indicator that you have a mineral deficiency, and that's how you need to treat it. We still got you there, Joe?
Yeah, you betcha. It's just kind of in and out here. I'm on location on a lease here, so
what do you do for a living?
I run a hot oiler.
What is? Explain that for everybody. What's a hot oiler?
The well formation produces wax, and I heat oil up to 80°C, and I melt the wax, and I clear pipelines. Or
listen, Joe, I got to cut you off. I hear the music. That means the show is over. We'll be back tomorrow with Dr. Peter Glidden. Have a great evening, everybody.